Good morning, world. Anyone's who out there joining in. Cement Shoes, good morning. Welcome to Coffee Brew. Kitty-coo, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to this morning's Coffee Brew. I hope we had a pleasant week. Waiting for people to join. Got three on YouTube, 7 on Twitter. Yes, hit the thumbs up if you like the content. Hit the thumbs down if you don't like the content. Samantha Muster McDowell, good afternoon, everyone. I've been trying to make a UK prison cheesecake, but bought the wrong cream. Oh, cheesecake still sounds good. Gayla, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I had a pretty damn good week. Got the kid off to school. School's back in session, in my area. And that was a lot of work, a lot of stress getting, everything together for him to go back to school. But I finally got everything done, got him off to school on Monday, first day back. So that's always good. Shoe shopping with that boy is just I don't wish that upon anybody. I heard the word no more than I heard the word maybe or nothing at all. It's Labor Day weekend. It is Labor Day weekend here as well. Are you going to talk about Ruby Frank? Don't know if Ruby Frank is on the crime recap. I doubt it though. It's not ringing a bell with me right now. Yeah, here in America, Samantha, good old Americans, we dropped the U from labor. Just a little side note, though. But I mean, I know how it's spelled around the world, and especially in other parts of the country. And I know Lori Vallow's on there, Brian Kohlberger. I've added a stupid criminal of the week to it as well. This guy's a real winner. He's not a mastermind, I'll tell you that. But I've added a stupid criminal each week to the recap. Verdict in South Carolina case, a girl who was left in a hot car. Good morning, Amy, and welcome to this morning's Coffee Brew crime recap show. There are so many other cases. There are definitely a lot of cases out there. I'm just now getting back into the swing of things. I took vacation and then I came back, and then I had to ramp up for getting my son ready for to go back to school. So, and it took a little bit. It took about a week for me to finally get back into the swing of things. Good morning, Lemon Pie. Welcome to this morning's Coffee Brew recap show. Yeah, another 20 seconds here, and we'll get this party started. I like those dumb criminal compilation videos you used to do. Oh, thank you, Cement Shoes. I plan on doing more of them here in the near future. So keep an eye out for them. But I've added one to every Saturday morning recap show. So there's the dumb criminal of the week. So maybe I'll do 2 or 3 of them throughout the week, leading up to Saturday morning's, dumb criminal of the week. I'm not going to promise them a coffee mug, but I will promise that the world will know who they are. Today is the youngest daughter's 0th birthday, so 10th birthday, 20th birthday in about 4 hours. Ninth birthday. Well, happy birthday to your daughter, Kitty Coo. Let's all sing Kitty Coo's daughter happy birthday, ladies and gentlemen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kitty Coo's daughter. Happy birthday to you. All right. Doesn't often, I'm gonna cement shoes. This is gonna sound bad, but I just noticed the other day that he changed the background in his studio. I was like, where are the bookcases? I was watching it. I swear I'm clueless a lot, but I was like, what happened to the bookcases? I mean, the bookcases were there. Then the neon sign showed up, and then now it's just a black background with the neon sign. But yeah, I noticed he didn't offer the coffee cups as well. All right. Saturday morning coffee brew crime recap show. These are the cases that I have been following throughout the past week. Maybe you've been following them, maybe you haven't. These are from August 27th through September 2nd. Of course, viewer discretion is strongly advised. Some of the content that I'm going to show and discuss is not for all audiences and certainly not for all ages. So viewer discretion is strongly advised. Yes, I may not have to say that for the majority of you, but I have to say it anyways for all the different venues that I stream on or stream to. First case that I've been following is Robert Witherington. 56-year-old Connecticut man is being charged with larceny after he found $5,000 in cash in the parking lot. Turns out months later, the owners of the money came forward. The city demanded the money back, full plus penalties, because he didn't turn it into law enforcement. The money belonged to the city, and it was from taxes collected on property. Now, in the envelope that he found, only thing was in there was a deposit slip. It did not have a name from the depositor. It only had the logo in the upper left-hand corner that had the name of the bank and the address and phone number of the bank. It had an account number that only associated it with an actual account, not a name, not the city's name. That line was completely blank. Just an account number was written on there. So he thought of it as, money from heaven. It was lucky day. It's like winning the lottery. But the city is demanding that he not only repay the $5,000, but they wanted penalties of up to, it was just shy of $1,000 in penalties. Now, the city violated their own policy when they lost the money because they're supposed to send 2 people to the bank to make the deposit. And, well, only one person went and they lost it. Since he wouldn't repay the penalties plus the $5,000, when they came forward and said that was our money, they filed criminal charges of larceny against him and are demanding not only attorney's fees now on top of it, more penalties plus the $5,000. So I'm watching to see how this shakes out, because you would think finders keepers, right? If I'm walking through a parking lot and I find $1 on the ground, do I have to run around to every business, to say, look, I found this dollar? Did anybody come in here looking for a missing dollar? Obviously that would be an extreme example, but what if it was $20 or $50? Where do you draw the line on saying, look, it's found money and you need to turn it in, and versus, look, this is just money you need. Maybe you're in a pinch and you're about to be evicted from your home or something, and you need $3,248, and you just find $5,000 in cash laying in a parking lot. There were no checks in this envelope at all. Apparently, the lady who dropped them and lost the money, they won't say her name yet, but it's going to come out in the court case, that she deposited one envelope that had nothing but checks in it, and the other envelope that had the cash in it, is what she lost. Dropped on the ground right there in the parking lot and never bothered to pick that up. I don't know about you, but $5,000 in cash. Let's just hypothetically say it was all in $100 bills. That's a good stack of cash. How do you drop that and not see it? But she did. He found it, and he kept it for himself and didn't turn it in. You've been there many times, Amy? I once left an apartment at night and saw something reflective, picked it up, and it was my bank book. I was lucky because I was at the apartment for hours. I was tell you a side note to that, something along that line. I was driving down it's a 4-lane road. It's not a highway, and I came to a light, and I looked at the truck in front of me, and on the actual bumper of the truck was a checkbook, and next to that was some lady's like little purse. I don't know what you kind of call it, like clutch purse, I guess. It didn't have like a big handle on it. It had a little tiny handle, but it had a little purse next to it and a checkbook sitting on the bumper. And I made my way around to the side, next to the car, to the truck at the next light, and I'm motioning for them, roll your window down, roll your window down. And the guy flips me off. So I followed them all the way through the next two lights and then into the parking lot. And just as they pulled into the parking lot of like a business, the purse fell off the bumper. I stopped my car, got out, picked up the purse, and then walked up to the window and held it to the driver's window. And I'm like, hey, you lost this, but your checkbook is still on your bumper. That happened to me. The guy never got out of the truck. I just set it on the hood and it's like, I'm just going into the store anyways because it just happened to be the same place I was going. People lose things all the time, but I mean, really, should it be a crime, or should they just say, look, give us back our $5,000, and here's your, he could have, I'm pretty sure the guy's going to give back the $5,000 if he hasn't done it already. I found wallets and returned everything still in it. Well, that's nice of you to do. I'm back. Good morning, Smith Shoes, says Gayla Denson. All right, next case that I've been following. 20 years later, this is Justin Geis. Almost 20 years after the home invasion went wrong, police in the death of Tawan Belton finally caught the man that they've been looking for with the help of DNA. And hours later, after they brought him in and confronted him with the DNA, he confessed to the entire incident, how it happened, why he was there, everything. He confessed 100%. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, they offered him an attorney, and he waived his rights to counsel and confessed to it all. It's not looking good for Justin Geis at this point. The prosecuting attorney said that they are going to go for first-degree murder in this case for killing Tawan Belton in this home invasion. Now, there are a lot of circumstances behind it, like depending on what media outlet you read the articles from. I went by the Associated Press's article, and there are some things in there that are kind of disturbing of like why he was actually there and what his motivation might have been. I'm not going to disparage Tawan Belton's name, but let's just say neither one of them had clean hands before this actual day where Tawan was murdered. But it still doesn't give Justin Geis the right to shoot and kill this man. All right, next one. Brian Kohlberger. Something I can guarantee hasn't been covered by the ladies of true crime. And I checked this morning. Um, his attorney has filed two motions this past week seeking to squash additional evidence that was collected by the FBI. This is evidence that was collected at his parents' home. They want to squash evidence that was recovered there because they say it was improperly collected and stored the improperly collected and stored by someone who did not have the qualifications to collect the evidence that they collected there is what they're actually arguing in those two motions. They want it squashed. These are pre-trial motions. Now they will be heard, by the defense. The state will have the opportunity to actually answer to them, and then they will come forth in front of a judge, either most likely in a sealed hearing, because right now a majority of everything in this case is sealed unless it gets leaked. But they filed two motions this past week. Good morning, Aunt B. I hope you had a wonderful week. I'm glad you could join us this morning. Next one, Lori Vallow Daybell. Think what you want about this clearly crazy lady. She really doesn't seem to care if they lock her up for the rest of her life or not. Other inmates, and this is going by two inmates who were serving time with her in Idaho, said that she knows she is part of a vision and she will be saved. Is what she kept on telling them. She doesn't care if she's incarcerated because she knows she's part of something that is bigger. She has a vision of it and she will be saved. So bring on Arizona. And in Arizona, if they convict her, where will she go? Will she stay in Arizona? Will they ship her back to Idaho? Will she go to Missouri or Texas or Alaska? I strongly suggest we send her to Siberia or someplace that's, completely, really awful. Because nothing on this earth and this life is good enough for Lori, because she has that portal where she can escape to go see Chad and anybody else, I guess, if she wants. So good luck, Lori. Next. Buster Murdaugh believes his father was framed and is in fear for his life because the others who were involved in the murder of his mother and brother are still out there. Money can't buy you happiness, but it certainly can buy you a complete disconnection from reality. His father, he believes, was framed, and other people are involved in the murder of his mother and brother. Yes, Buster believes this. I don't know how he can believe it, but he does. A complete disconnection from reality. Did he not hear his father on the witness stand? I don't understand. They're looking for her in Peru. Who? Well, must have been somebody I missed. Sorry if I missed it. She cray cray. Yeah, Lori Vallow is definitely cray cray, and so is Buster and his dad. And his brother wasn't exactly what you call the brightest star in the sky. I mean, he did kill that girl in that boating accident while he was severely under the influence of alcohol, probably alcohol and drugs that he probably got from his daddy. He's probably the other Ruby Frank. Oh. Next, Martha Ruth Mary Terry, otherwise known as the Lady of the Dunes. This case has been covered in media for, an awfully long time. I found articles that go back over 30 years. Law enforcement announced this past week her husband killed her outside of Provincetown in 1974. Now, if you don't remember the name Martha Ruth Mary Terry or Ruth Mary Terry, she also went by and had 4 other last names and first names that she went by. But in the media, they called her the Lady of the Dunes. A lot of this story is very twisted and yet unconfirmed, and even with the press announcements from the prosecuting attorney in the state, they said that Mary Ruth Terry's husband is also the prime suspect in additional murders. There may be at least 3 other murders that he is connected to, but they now believe 100% that that he is the one who killed her. In case you wonder why the Lady of the Dunes, she was found murdered on a beach, sandy area next to the water, the dunes next to the water. So if you want to look up Lady of the Dunes, you'll probably find quite a few articles. Like I found ones that went back over 30 years on her. A lot of them are in print archive articles. You can go to the Internet Archives, and you can find quite a few articles throughout the history of people that they've suspected might have been her killer. Evidence that they talked about that was found near her. Her husband's denial of what happened to her. All kinds of things. But now they're saying that her husband was the actual murderer, and that he is connected to at least 3 other possible murders. Samantha, you just heard about her the other day. Yeah, there's a quite a history out there of different articles. Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack covered the story back, I think it was 1989 or 90. And it's been on quite a few other television shows. On top of that, Unexplained Mysteries of the unsolved. It was like the later generation of Unsolved Mysteries. But it's been out there. There's quite a few podcasts about the Lady of the Dunes, YouTube videos, actual news articles. So just Google Lady of the Dunes if you want to read more about this case. But I'm now just digging into it. I filed a FOIA request on Tuesday, so I probably won't hear back. I don't know if I'm going to hear back with Monday being a holiday. I probably won't hear back until the following week on that, one way or another. All right, next, our stupid criminal of the week, Robert J. Hobby. Maybe you've seen him covered on other stupid criminal lists. He is now wanted. He is not in custody, ladies and gentlemen. He is wanted for theft, value $4.25. His alleged crimes are theft and taking a hostage. Wanted for breaking into his former employer's business and holding the owner hostage for his last paycheck and stealing a half a roll of wax paper and a stack of sticky notes that have the name of the business on them. Now, Robert J. Hobby, ladies and gentlemen, along with his best friend, and why he's probably on a couple dozen, if not more, stupid criminal lists, is him and his buddy, who, they were like 2 kindred spirits. His buddy, by the way, is in jail. They broke into several different convenience stores in their area. On the last convenience store that they broke into, Robert J. Hobby left behind his wallet with $16 in it and his driver's license, his welfare benefits card, and a library card. Yes, the man has a library card. Obviously, he didn't spend any time in the library actually bringing in some of that knowledge that's there free of charge. He has a long history of breaking and entry, drug offenses, public intoxication, exposing himself. Basically, the charge is he was caught urinating in public. Possession of stolen property. He is not what you call a very bright star in the sky, but he is currently wanted. Value of the theft, $4.25 for the sticky notes and the half a roll of wax paper. He did get his last paycheck. He stole it, and by holding the owner hostage until he opened the safe to give him his last paycheck. As if the owner wasn't going to know who was there. but he did cash it at a local grocery store. So he has gotten his last pay. Now it's just a matter of time before they find Robert J. Hobby again. So, our stupid criminal of the week. Thank you, everyone. He's not a bookworm for sure. Oh, no, he's not. And good morning, Reichart. Is the biggest shocker, right? I was looking at the inventory, the intake sheet for him on the when him and his buddy got caught breaking into those convenience stores. They charged him with a total of 14 criminal charges, 1 felony for each, and then 6 misdemeanors for each. And because I guess there wasn't enough evidence, they didn't leave their wallets or anything else behind, and they were able to cut the power, so it killed the surveillance videos before they got into the other businesses. On the last one, they cut the power as well, but the same MO. They crawled in through the heating and air conditioning duct on the roof of the business and came in that way, or they pried the door open off the on the back of the business. So the MO was the same for all of them, but his buddy is still in jail because, well, he has a record, a rap sheet is just as long as Robert's. But Robert J. Hobby is still wanted. They'll find him though. Oh, they'll find him. I mean, when criminals that are that bright, it doesn't take that long for them to trip up and do something else stupid. Place a they'll see their wanted poster on television and tweet back to the law enforcement or use Facebook to comment on it that's not a good photo. Yes, there have been criminals who have been caught that way. One man in particular comes to mind who, they featured him on television that he was wanted. Then they posted it on Facebook, not a very flattering photo. So he told them to use, the photo. I guess he attached it to the comment and said, "Hey, use this photo instead." So then they tracked that IP address and they found out he's still in the area. He hadn't left, so that helped them narrow it down. So the search area, it came in a lot closer. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Robert J. Hobby does something just as dumb. Beer time for you, Kazap. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, or evening, wherever you are. Kazap, I hope you've been doing well. Waving to Kazap, good morning. I know it's only Kazap, but I always think of it as Kazap. There's no other letters there, but I still think of it there anyway. Not making fun of your name, your screen name. Beer time for you. Oh, it's a little early here. It's only 8:30 in the morning. A little early for me to have a beer. I'm having Black Rifle Coffee Company. Black coffee. Love this stuff. But that's the end of the recap for today. I hope everyone, there's other cases out there that I'm definitely following, and I'm sure other people are following too, like this Ruby everyone was talking about earlier. My dad loves Black Rifle coffee too. I wholeheartedly supply. I bought Black Rifle coffee for my son. Good. I wholeheartedly support it because not only is the coffee good, and it gets delivered to my home every month. This is not an ad for sponsored content, but I'm just saying that on top of that though, they give 20% of all their profits to outreach for homeless veterans and those who in their area and around the United States. They give to national charities. And I always like to see a business give back to their local community, and they certainly do. They are a huge supporter of the fallen, wounded soldiers, different charities in that area particularly. Better than supporting Starbucks. I can't tell you the last time I had Starbucks, Amy. If I had to take a wild guess, it I had a subscriber who sent me a coffee mug and a bag of, I think it was like their French vanilla coffee blend. Not my particular, flavor of coffee. I don't like flavored coffees, but that was about probably a year ago that I got that. And a lot of times I want to thank people for sending me gifts, and stuff like that. To me. I really do support it. I mean, I have somebody, I don't know who it is, that keeps on sending me candy that are sweetened with 100% honey, and I've never found out who they are. The return address is just I know where the return address is, but there's no name on it. There's no letter inside the box, and I wish I knew who they were. But like the Starbucks, I didn't get I think it came from Amazon, and it had a gift receipt, and it said, just thinking of you, keep going, or something like that. But it didn't have like a name on it, so stamping up. Starbucks, either they're anti-law enforcement in my area and shunned us all while we were there on duty. That's bad. You got a stalker? Oh, I have a stalker. I have a stalker. I really do, and I know exactly where this stalker is. I keep close tabs. I'm a firm believer in keep your enemies just as close as your friends. And I do have a stalker, and I know exactly where this individual is. But no, I mean, I get gifts, and I also get letters. I have a lady who keeps on writing me. I've never seen her in the comment section anywhere, but she's from Perth, Australia, and she sends me articles of different crimes and cases in Australia. She actually does like newspaper clippings. She sent me like whole pages, from the newspaper, but I have no idea who she is. I like to give her a shout out and say thank you to her, but I've never seen her in the comment section. She's not a subscriber as far as I know. But then again, there's a lot of people out there that use other names. I highly doubt Cement Shoes' real name is Cement Shoes, or Tinker Bell is real name is Tinker Bell, and using those as examples. I mean, I know who Cement Shoes is, but people use different names. Silver Wings. Kitty Coo. Great names. I know people buy those names, but I don't know their real names necessarily. Amy M, as a nurse, don't you think that you work people would have had an idea? I think they must have a suspect. Good morning, Cheryl, and welcome to this morning's Coffee Brew Crime Recap Show. I've already finished up the insensible crime. There you go. There's sweetheart. How are you doing? Following the Amy Harwick murder trial, she was stalked for years by a crazy ex. I'm going to write that one down because that's the second time that the Harwick one has come across my desk. I have to look Harwick show. I have to remember to check into that one. Thank you, for saying that, though, Sensible Crime. I hope you've been doing well. Night Stalker. Someone else suggested to me the other day that the Harwick trial is itself too. Will, have you heard Christopher Watts got attacked because of riots? Gianna Marie, good morning, Gianna Marie. No, I have not. And I'm going to be absolutely honest with you, Gianna. I try everything in my power to try to avoid Christopher Watts. And it's just me because the man disgusts me. They're on so many different levels. I don't know what it is about the case and the man himself, his background, his mother, his father. I mean, I'm trying to find. I tried to find for the longest time some kind of redeeming quality in that family. If there's even a little tiny bit of redeeming quality in the Watts family, I would say it's his sister. Is the only redeeming quality in it. I mean, because as much of a giant pile of excrement his mom is, his dad isn't that far behind. He just doesn't talk publicly about it. But oh boy, does he love to talk with friends and people about it. But you know, they continue, and ever as it goes along, it just builds and keeps the harassment towards the Ruschek family going. So it's just me. I know people want to hear about the case, but I hope that that somebody whooped his ass because well, he deserves it. I especially dislike Christopher Watts because of so many people defended him. Oh, he's got sensible crime. He's got a fan club, and that's not a joke. He has an actual fan club. They have a text group that they text, updates, and what's going on. I'll have to check into the group. They're a Facebook group, who have a text group that's besides what they actually put on their closed. It's open. It's just closed, so the public can't find them. Group on Facebook, but they don't know who I am, and I've been in the group since the Watts trial. They've always been there for him, and they're still putting money on his books. They're sending him gifts and letters and pictures of their families, talking about their vacations and on and on and on. They support him 100%, and they think that he was framed. And they believe that there are other people who are involved, and there's no way he could have done it all by himself. But it goes from that to people who are absolutely in love with him, and they think that he is a misunderstood individual. I wish I was joking about that. They had unexpected deaths. It must be something. Replied something else. I won't talk any cases with my mother-in-law because she thinks he's innocent. Yeah, there are people out there like that. And what I found is a lot of times, Kitty Q, is I let people talk about it because it's like arguing with somebody online. I could argue with them and I could show them the facts, I could show them the documents, and I've done that quite a bit, and yet they still don't believe it. They want to believe a narrative that they have already set their minds to. And maybe your mother-in-law is just like that. She believes what she wants to believe, and because in her mind she really thinks that there's something that supports that. Oh no, it's all right because I do tend to come off overbearing about it, and I understand that. It's just me personally. I understand, again. I understand that people want to hear about it, and if I find that there's enough interest and enough on the internet, I will cover it. I just recently, not too long ago, did one on Christopher Watts, maybe like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. When you decide what happened before learning the facts can't be convinced otherwise. So you see what you think is true. That's true. Um, Confirmational bias. You believe what you believe, until something leads you in a different direction. Nah, she's just not smart. Will, please read the whole chat. I was trying to, Amy. Scroll up. I'm trying to read it. I mean, if I missed anything, I'm sorry. I don't like summers very well, so I'm very happy August is here. Um, I think I especially dislike Christopher Watts because so many people defended him. Unexpected death, no excuse, not for calling in the police. I'm sorry if I missed anything. We're talking about the killer nurse. Oh, what was her name? August is over. I covered a killer nurse. I mean, at Harwick or some let Betty or let by, isn't it? Lucy. Yeah, I'm familiar with that one. Whereas Karen gets to live in disguise. Good morning, Laura Bell. Welcome to this morning's Coffee Brew Crime Recap Show. I've already covered the crime recap before, and now we're just talking about different cases that we're all following. The nurse that killed babies in the nursery. Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I haven't done anything on it, but I'm gonna definitely write it down. Lucy, let by killer nurse. Lawyer You Know channel did a live yesterday regarding Amy Harwick opening statements. I've never watched Lawyer You Know channel on B. Um, the only legal channels I really follow is Steve Leto, but he's a lemon law attorney. Legal Eagle, of course. Legal Eagle. Um, Scott Reich. I'll have to check into it. Love your glasses. Oh, thank you, Reichard. It's nice to be able to see. I have my other ones. Yeah, I went from look right at the camera. So this is the new ones. These are my old ones. These ones are black. These ones have like a little bit of red in them, but I still have these. I have to take these with me when I golf because I'm dressed right now for golfing because I'm going golfing right after this. But these ones don't have transitional lenses, and these ones do. I don't know if you can see that. They're kind of like a light gray right now on the lenses. But I couldn't get these frames in a transitional lens right away. Now I've since ordered the transitional lenses in the same frame, but Star R is getting a little arrogant for your opinion. Well, that's all right. Or thank you, Samantha. Uh, I don't know. I like what he does. I don't see him as being arrogant. I think that well, he is him. To each their own. I mean, I like Legal Eagle. I mean, but if I ever needed an attorney, I wouldn't call the Legal Eagle team unless I was in deep doo doo. But I think a lot of trial attorneys are arrogant. Yeah, well, you have to become somewhat arrogant to be able to stand up there and have the confidence, that confidence does come off as arrogance in a lot of ways to a lot of people. I understand that. Karen Matthews reported her daughter, Shannon 9, missing a year after Madeline McCain went missing. She was found after 24 hours, drugged under a double bed. Wow. She has some great ideas for cases to cover, in the coming week. There's a lot of cases out there. I wish there was some conclusion to, Summer Wells. I've got my theory behind what happened to Summer, but I can't prove it. It would be pure speculation on my part because number one, I wasn't there. Number two, I don't have any facts to support it, but I have a sneaking suspicion of what happened to Summer. But until I can actually have something concrete to back up, my theory, or maybe I get something concrete in my theory, it blows my theory out of the water. Until I have something like that, I'm not covering the Summer Wells case, but we still need to keep her name and her thoughts out there, just like so many other cases, out there of missing children. Fox interviewed the BTK's daughter this past week. Isn't she just a peach? Isn't she? And Reichart, you can find there's another interview out there with her on before she wrote the book on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube. Either that, or you can just Google her name, and it's one interview on particular. She's sitting in a room. She's sitting in a chair that's kind of like U-shaped, and there's a table to it'd be her left-hand side to the back, and then it's like a black background. That's the video you need to find with her. And she has some very interesting things to say about her father. Oh, thank you, Gianna Marie. Apparently, the brains, but as her neighbor says, she's not very smart. Poor Donnie. Okay, so while we have a low in the conversation right now, I want to ask your guys' opinion. I have two different cameras right now that are set up. Now, quality of video, obviously, this is in right now what I'm shooting in is in 4K. The next one is in 4K as well, but it's out. I've got these big giant studio lights that are over it that are going to seriously wash out the second video. So you're going to see that it's really bright. Okay. But what I'm interested in is I want to know what you guys think of the audio quality between these two cameras, because both of them have an external mic. This one has an external mic that is a boom mic that's above it. This camera here, so one here, there's one here. This one has the exact same model of boom mic, but it processes the actual audio on a separate channel. So I'm having one video, one audio channel for the second camera, and this one combines the audio and the video. So I'm going to switch. This is the second camera. And I'm wondering, what is the audio quality? Is it if the audio quality is split into two, or if it should be one channel? Which one has a better quality? I know this is washed out, is really overexposed because it's sitting just behind the actual or right below the actual studio lights. So which one do you like better? This is number 2 or I switched it, didn't I? Oh, no, I didn't. All right, I switched back. I'm sorry, I forgot to turn it back on. Number 2 would be good for additional people on your video or lives. Yeah, but if everyone likes the audio more on this camera, this is the Canon. It's just like this one. This is model number. It has it on here somewhere, right? Ah, there it is. This is a Canon SX530HS. What you're watching me on right now. This is what this camera is broken. The refractor lens, it's and it is broken. Both of these ones are they have the lenses in them both. They're not mirrorless. So there's mirrorless and then there's mirrored. So this one's broken. This a giant piece of nothing. Did I see Leilani got her ass in jail? Leilani for her son, for murdering her son and disposing him in the garbage. I hadn't looked into it, but I will definitely. Leilani in Georgia. Get her GED in jail. Her GED. She needs it. Unfortunately, the education that she's going to receive is going to be severe and tough for for what she has done. Poor Quentin. How the hell does somebody ever get to the point where they're going to harm a child like that? She discarded him like he was just a used up box of tissues, dumped him in a dumpster behind a business, and then lied to authorities about what happened to him. Tried to say that his daddy came and got him. If she didn't want that boy anymore, you know how many families out there would have been more than willing to take him? Hell, his father wanted him. He just wasn't in a position at that point to take him, in custody. Her parents would have taken Quentin. Him, the father's parents would have taken him. The aunts would have taken him. I wouldn't want her. I wouldn't want Quentin to go with her parents. I mean, her mom is a severe alcoholic and definitely not clean at all. Because what did she do? She took her daughter out and partied with her over the weekend. They went to the the shore and partied. Her mom says, "Well, it was to see if she would talk." Nah, you wanted to go there and you could have talked to her at any time. You could have sat at home in your living room like you did a million other times and gotten wasted with her. You didn't have to go rent a motel and go to a nice restaurant and party it up like you're a couple of teenagers. She went there and she did all that because she wanted to, because she could. Then partied like it was 1999. I miss Prince. To study and become a lawyer in jail. Really? She is? Well, in case your child ever turns up missing, there are a couple of really famous people out there who are private detectives now. There's that one who I wouldn't pay to find anything unless it's in the trunk of her car. I'm not going to mention her name, but she's a private detective now. I know. Kitty Q, isn't that sad? I posted that on Facebook today. My second post in 2 years. Jimmy Buffett. I posted Jimmy Buffett passed away, and I said, "Rest in peace, Jimmy. I'll find your lost shaker of salt." That's sad. My mother-in-law loves Jimmy Buffett. Every time I get in the car, she always says Jimmy Buffett XM radio playing. We should all have a margarita today. Meep meep. Good morning, meep meep. I hope you're doing well, meep meep. Thank you for joining the recap show. We should all have a margarita today. I got some margarita mix that comes in a bottle. I'm not a big margarita fan. A lot around here, my house, the only time something like that with hard alcohol gets drank is my wife likes these rose water gimlets. I think that's what they're called, rose water gimlets. But besides that, nobody in my house drinks hard alcohol. But I'm pretty sure I have everything to make a margarita. I know I have tequila, and I got the margarita mix. I know I have the big grains of salt. Big grains of salt. I said no salt. I will take my business to a competing resort. That is a line from Office Space. You don't drink alcohol? Well, it's good for you, Amy. It's not for everyone. Spicy mango. A mango salt margarita. Can you make a margarita? I only drink beer. Same here, Kitty Coo. I'll have a couple beers today after golf. Once I get home. Not before I get home, but once I get home. I'm a responsible idiot. I have XM satellite radio in your truck. There you go. There's a Jimmy Buffett channel, Rykart. You can listen to Jimmy Buffett and Margaritaville in a million different languages, Spanish, English. I know it's there because my mother-in-law is always listening to it in her car. She has one of those little Kia Souls that would probably fit underneath one of your truck tires, and you wouldn't even notice it was there. Just a little tiny car. But she's only one person. And she drives around my son every once in a while. Coke Zero. I love Coke Zero. You'll have a mango for later. Ooh, I got mangoes in the refrigerator, in the crisper. I think I have 3 or 4 of them in there. I was waiting. I bought them. They were a little bit too unripened. I opened one up and it was like really hard and tough still. I like mangoes. I for breakfast sometimes I have a mango, but most of the times I have grapefruit. Love grapefruit. I'd rather eat calories than drink them. There you go. Is that a chocolate bar? Amy, a chocolate bar? There you go. I mean, some nice dark chocolate, high cacao count in it. That's the thing about America is a lot of what people call chocolate is not really chocolate. It doesn't have enough butter fat in it, so it's not technically chocolate by international standards. I'm going by not by stuff made by Hershey's is really good milk chocolate. There's good milk chocolate out there, but the stuff made by Hershey's and some of the other larger chocolate companies, it's not really chocolate. They removed the butter fat and they add in palm oil from palm nuts. You love dark chocolate? Chocolate is the answer. I mean, who doesn't like chocolate? Is there anybody in the chat right now that doesn't like chocolate? The crisper? That's what we call the drawer in the refrigerator. It's called a crisper. British Cadbury. I like the tubular chocolate. Comes in little triangles on a bar. I don't eat a lot of sweets, but you're allergic to so much. I'm allergic to milk protein and other things, so I'm careful. See if you can find a health food store, Amy. Uh, I know that my friend's wife has issues with milk fat, and I don't know if the proteins are in there, but she goes to a health food store and they have a vegetarian vegan chocolate. It comes in the little round like peanut butter cup things. I don't know if you can have if you have peanut allergies, but call it the fridge drawer. You call it the fridge drawer. Well, we call it the crisper. In my refrigerator, I've got one of those double door refrigerators that opens up, and then the freezer's down below. The top section's double door freezer, but then there's a drawer that's the whole entire length of it. And we call that the crisper drawer. Then there's the drawers that are actually that you pull down like this that are on the inside of both doors. And I don't really have a name for those. I haven't heard someone call it a crisper in years. I'm old. It's kind of cool though. Is our crisper? You can actually set the temperature, of that actual unit, different from the rest of the refrigerator. It's all digital. If it ever went out, I mean, I think you're looking. I'd probably have to buy a whole new refrigerator if the damn thing didn't work. You too. Anna Pease, good morning. Tracy Harrison, good morning. Welcome to this morning's live stream. Coffee Brew. I'm about to wrap it up here, though, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, to everyone who has been here and is here now. I'm going to start calling it a crisper. There you go. But everyone, thank you very much for being here this morning for the crime recap. Don't forget, tomorrow night we are playing trivia. If you like true crime, tomorrow you should tune in. We are doing unsolved mysteries, just like the old TV shows, that was hosted by Robert Stack back in the 80s, and then it went on through the 90s, and it went to Netflix, and it went to CBS. But unsolved mysteries, true crime tomorrow night here on YouTube. It's live. The questions and the answers are displayed on screen, and you just answer A, B, C, or D, whichever you think is the right answer. It's just for fun. You don't have to log in. You don't even have to say anything. You can just keep track yourself or not keep track at all and just watch, whichever you'd prefer. But that's tomorrow night at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We play every single Sunday. Yeah, but tomorrow is Unsolved Mysteries, just like the TV show. The TV show had a little bit of everything from UFOs to murder mysteries to, unexplained events. This is going to have a little bit of everything in it. So tomorrow night, again, 4 p.m., tune in for live trivia here on YouTube. If you're not a subscriber, I hope you will subscribe. That way you can be notified when the trivia is uploaded and when I'm going to go live and when new content comes out. But give this a thumbs up in the meantime, everyone, if you liked it. If you don't like it and you just want to send a message to the algorithm that, well, I don't like this guy, give it a thumbs down. It is your choice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. I hope you all have a terrific week. If I don't see you again tomorrow, thank you. Bye.